Cost center accounting. The cost center accounting is for controlling purposes within your organization. It is useful for a source related assignment of overhead cost to the location in which they occur. Cost center accounting defines the smallest area of responsibility within the company that causes and influences the cost, the lowest level to which you can meaningfully assign direct and indirect cost. So basically, cost center accounting in a simple words take care of your different cost or expenses that have been incurred, and we can have the report with the basis of these cost centers. Then comes the profit center accounting. Profit center accounting is providing the opportunity to analyze and report to the management regarding internal profitability of diff subunits. So as many profit centers you create within a particular organization, it gives you more options to analyze the profitability of those particular subunit parts. So it is profit center can be otherwise can be termed as a company within a company, where you can get different reports, or even you can generate financial statements for that particular profit center which you have defined to a subunit part. So profit center can be set up according to your product line or divisions, even as per your geographical factors or regions and offices also. And it could be even function like production and sales. So it depends how the organization wants the reporting, how the management wants its profitability to be checked within internally, and accordingly they can go for deciding their profit centers. Then we'll be moving on to the internal orders. Internal orders are normally used to plan, collect, and settle the cost of internal jobs and tasks. Internal orders are used for short-term purpose like job fairs, project, etc. Whereas cost center are used for long-term purposes to capture the day-to-day cost. So you can even assign budgets for these jobs, which the system monitors to ensure that they are not exceeded. Moving to the next is product costing. Product costing is the process of tracking and studying all the various expenses that are accrued in the production and sale of a product. It roughly comprises of the raw material expenses, process cost like wire gas or electricity which has been consumed, and other elements such as transportation, tool cost, staff cost, welding, etc. So overall the product costing basically is used for costing a product. So it basically includes the all the manufacturing expenses, all the expenses which have been incurred on manufacturing of a product, so as to know what is the cost of a product manufactured. Whereas the profitability analysis enables us to analyze the profitability of market segments according to the following characteristics like products, customers, sales districts, and others. So if you want your profitability to be analyzed as per different market or different segments, you can define those market segments as a product. So you can analyze your profitability product to product wise, or even if you want the market segment to be defined as customers, so you can calculate or you can even analyze the profitability from customer to customer, or even it can be as per the region wise, like you can define the profitability for market segments like US East or US West, or even the whole country as US, and the country to country you can take different as a segment, and accordingly you can have a reporting analysis that from which particular product or customer or region you are getting more profit from the business. So these are the basic major submodules in the controlling part. Apart from this, we'll be covering some of the important topics for SAP FICO. and these are certain parts which you will not get anywhere else as a training part, because these are something which is highly advanced topics which nobody is been interested to give an overview or a full knowledge regarding topics like tables and fields overview. So table and fields overview basically is technicals about FICO, how the various data are being used, how they are being saved, and then with the basis of those data how a customized report can be created. So if you want to create anything as a customized apart from the standard SAP system, you must have the knowledge of tables, fields. If you don't have that, you will not be able to do any customization in the SAP. So to give you a better, more idea, in SAP, whatever the data we punch or we whatever the transactions we do into the SAP system, basically the transactions are saved at the back end with different tables. And if you want to know, there are more than 400 million tables in SAP where the data is stored from different modules. So over here we'll be looking after what are the different FI and CO tables which are important to for different transactions will be taken care in the table and the fields overview. Moving to the next is SAP Fiori. SAP Fiori is a new technique, a new technology which has been taken up by SAP, and with the help of SAP Fiori, SAP is able to provide you different applications so that you don't have to stick to your personal PC or your desktop system or to your office seat, that for doing any particular work you need to be on that particular restricted mode. No, SAP provides you different applications, and with the help of those applications you can do your work wherever you are. You are not been restricted to a particular per personal computer or a tablet or a mobile phone. You can go parallel to any of these options now, and you can do your work wherever you are. It is not a necessity that you have to reach back to your seat or to your PC so as to get those particular work done. Just like for an example, if a manager has to approve the leaves or the project or to the travel request of any of the employees or colleagues, in that case he don't need to go back to SAP system for those approvals. If he has got those applications on his phone, with the help of SAP Fury, which is SAP has tried and provided many of the different applications, the manager can do his jobs on the move from his mobile phone or from a tablet as well. So there are different new applications within the SAP FICO modules are also which are in the market, and people have been able to use that with their tablets and with their smartphones as well. So it is what we'll be looking after in the SAP Fury, what it is all about and what are the different applications which are there in the market which will be used as an application on the smartphone or a tablet on or on a PC as such. Moving to the next is LSMW. LSMW is basically a legacy system migration workbench. This is one of a very important tool from SAP which is used for data migration. Data migration, which is a part of any implementation project. Whenever we go for any implementation project of any SAP, from then in that case you need to move the data from the legacy system of the client to the SAP system. So to do that, this LSMW is very helpful, and with the help of LSMW only we move those data from the legacy system to the SAP system, so that now the client will be able to use the SAP system for the future reference. And the next comes up is the report painter. So report painter is again a tool for various information systems for finance and controlling module. Basically report painter is been defined or has been created for controlling module. So all the different reports in controlling are been created with the help of report painter, and it is very simple and easy to use, and anyone can easily create their reports within the SAP system. So there are different reports, there are different modules for which the reports have been created in the report painter only from the controlling side, like there is cost center accounting, profit center accounting, product costing, or maybe internal order or profitability analysis. So whatever the kind of reports you need out of these different modules, those reports can be directly created in the report painter, and in that case the functional consultant is not dependent on the technical, that is the ABAP consultant, for their programming for the new report. So you can create your new reports of its own. However, SAP even provide many of those standard reports in the report painter also for the controlling part, and now these days even the report painter is used for SAP FI part as well for different financial reports. So if you want, you can create your financial reports with the help of report painter easily into the system. So this is what we have done with the first and the second part. We have covered the overview on FICO module, and then we have, these are the different course content that we will be covering in the SAP FI and CO module, and these are certain important topics apart from that, like table fills, SAP Fury, LSMW, and report painter, which will be as a extra topics for you, so as to learn extra things which will be giving you few extra fruits from the training part. So now we'll be moving to the third part, that is a practical example. So we'll be taking up a practical example which will give you a more understanding of how the SAP system works. So what we'll be doing is we'll be moving with the first submodule in the SAP FI part, that is enterprise structure, and we'll see how those structure can be created within the SAP system. So if you talk about a structure, as whenever you go for any of the implementation project or any of the project you are working with, you first need, if you want to create those things in the SAP system, you need to first define a layout, that how you will be taking up things in the SAP system. So what will be your company, what will be the business areas, what will be the client, and all those things. So you need to have a structure, organizational structure, that there will be a group company, then the group will have how many number of companies will it have, and then within that what are the different functional areas and business areas. So we'll be discussing those all things one by one. So if you talk about the enterprise structure, as you can see the diagram on the screen, the structure is something like this, that there is a client, and within the client in which we work, there is a group company. In group company, SAP, it is called as a company. Then within the group company, there are a number of different company codes. The company codes refers to the legal entities with which we have been working with, and those legal entities can be defined in the SAP system as the company code, and then the different business areas. So we'll be discussing each of these things one by one. So these are the different configuration steps that need to be defined within the enterprise structure. Like you need to define a company, then you need to define the company code, and you need to put these together as a link so that they can decide among each other that how they are related to each other. So we need to assign the company to the company code, and then defining the business area, and then define the credit control area and assigning the credit control area to the company code. So let's take this one by one. If we move on to the first configuration step, that is to define the company. If we talk about a company, company is the smallest organizational unit for which individual financial statements can be drawn up according to the relevant commercial law. Basically in SAP, group companies are referred as company. Whereas in general terms, we talk about a particular company as a legal entity, but in SAP, there is a slight change that the group companies are termed as company in the SAP system. A company can consist of one or more company codes. That means a company can consist of one legal entity, or it can have more than one legal entities. So if you have got number of different legal entities or organizations, they are together termed as company in the SAP system. All company codes within a company must use the same chart of account and the same fiscal year. So that's we'll talk about once we will be at the chart of account part.